So what's going on, Doze?
Just chilling in my man cave on a Friday night.
Very, very. Isn't it nice to be old where you don't do anything on a Friday night?
It's always a party in here. Yeah.
Oh, totally. We used to go out. You remember that? We used to go out and do stuff.
Then we had to start becoming responsible contributing members of society.
Yeah, that was always fun. So I just want to get right into this because so Tuesday when I got home from work, I flipped on, even though I do play a lot of retro games, I flipped on my PlayStation 4 because that's new release day for video games. I flipped on the PlayStation 4 and I was like, going through, checking out some new games and stuff like that, and I came across this one called Kitten Squad, which I was like, oh cool, it's a free download. I can't wait to check this out. So I download it, and the very first thing that pops up is it's Peta sponsored game. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Peta? Alright, let's see what we got here. Now the game itself is it's kind of cool. It's like a Binding of Isaac concept where it's a constantly changing world, and you have a spread attack of weapons, and you're able to shoot in every direction, and you're fighting against just all these robotic type sea monster animals and stuff like that.
Is it third or first person, or?
It's a top view shooter game.
Okay.
And we're showing it right now while we're talking, so the people can see what it is. But what's what really got me about this game was each time you go to collect like the part of the story mode, you get to it and it shows unbelievably graphic, vile imaging of castration of animals, slaughter of animals, captivity of animals. Now, PETA's always been one of those groups that goes far out of their way to shove that down your throat. But when you're making a video game and trying to, and the game is rated T for teen, which means 13 or older, but
that's pretty hardcore.
It's a little, and it's cartoon imaging, but it's still very graphic.
Even that, still, yeah. I mean, just those
within
concepts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, they're showing a sheep's genitalia being cut off, and I don't understand why they would go about it. I mean, maybe you have a different opinion, but I've never been able to understand why PETA would jump into something so intense.
I think my whole opinion on this is it sounds kind of like typical PETA, but it sounds more like, I would rather use honey to try to attract people to my side rather than the stench they're trying to attract things with. Because I mean that's pretty disgusting. Vinegar. Yeah, I mean I don't object to the matter. You can make a video game out of everything you want, but I mean that's the PETA name, and like, I would never play a game. I mean, not that the sense of like you should spay and neuter your animal. I mean that's something you definitely have to do. I mean,
absolutely, you want to control the pet population, and I'm not talking about controlling the pet population. I'm talking about orcas in captivity, sheep in a farm and stuff like that.
It's just a weird video game subject to have. I mean,
it's a really weird subject to have, and I think they put it out free. I don't know if it's on any other media. I don't know if it's on Xbox One or if it's on Steam.
So how playable is it?
I researched the game. How what?
How playable is it?
It's very playable. I played it for like 3 hours, but the problem was anytime I got to a cutscene, I was like, I don't want to watch this. I get up and like leave the room, and that to me is. I mean, and you're talking to somebody who grew up with, the rating system getting changed with Mortal Kombat fatalities and stuff like that. It's not that I can't handle. I think it's the subject matter that bothers me, and it doesn't make sense to me that this company is going at it the way they're going at it. I mean, I think it would be better to just be like, be kind, be gentle. It's like the whole entire throwing blood mentality that Peta has.
Yeah,
it just
that's why I
doesn't
say
make sense to me.
Yeah, as I said, I don't mind games that throw blood and stuff. It's just a really weird, subject matter to be trying to persuade people to take care of animals.
Yeah,
let's just show them getting brutalized and make a game out of it for your child to have.
That's the thing, and it's a free. This is the other thing. It's a free download, and it's T for teens. So if you don't have any a lot of parental settings on video game systems are at M.
Yeah.
Which is 17 plus. So any kid at any age could download this game. And if any kid at any age downloads this free game on, their network, and they start playing it, it's gotta warp. I mean, just a little bit, right? I mean, it's a twisted subject matter to begin with.
And Peta's, dude, that's a pretty tactful insertion, because that's at a very impressionable age. When you're like 15, 16, you're in full rebel against your parents and stuff like that. So that's kind of like, and most people I don't think are down with Peta. I'm not. I mean, as I said, and I love animals, but I'm sorry. There's
gotta be gotta be a nicer way to go about it. That's just the way I feel. I don't understand why you have to be so intense about it. But great game, Peta. Good job. But at the same time, it is. It is an entertaining game.
2 thumbs up.
Well, it's nice and mindless, which is something that's great at the end of the day. A lot of game.
I have a few zombie killers that are like that. It's just like, see how many zombies.
Yeah, when you're in the mood for a storyline, you get into those great titles and really well written games. But if you're just looking for something mindless to get you, to the next episode of whatever you're watching on TV, it's like, I got an hour.